Hey everyone. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time coming. I have not made a podcast in the longest time. So, welcome back. Hi. How are you guys? How is whoever is listening to this? I hope you're having a very good day. And yeah, just sit back, relax, and let's just talk. Okay, so if you're new here, I make podcasts and I make very few of them because I only make them when I really feel like I want to share something about my life or I just want to talk. So I never force myself to make podcasts. And the reason for that is this is a hobby. I don't want to monetize it because this gives me joy. And previously in my life, I've monetized my art and it made me not want to continue making art, and I just never want to lose another passion like that. I'm still in the progress of getting back my art, my passion for art, and what it has been for me. But yeah, for me, making videos, making podcasts has been like just my hobby, and I love it. I love sharing my thoughts out in the world where someone might listen to it, it might help someone, you know. If you're like really alone at this moment, you don't have a friend right now, you can listen to this and you can feel less alone. And I guess that's the kind of content I want to make, where people feel less alone, because I feel like nowadays we're surrounded by people, we have all of these options, right? But we somehow feel very isolated, and I don't know if it's because of COVID, I don't know if it's because of technology, whatever it is, I don't understand it myself. But if you are here, if you are listening to this, I hope you know that you're not alone in this world. Everyone goes through these emotions, everyone feels stuck in life, everyone feels groggy, you know, or just like they're not worth the people they have in their lives, whatever it may be. But you don't have to feel that way, okay? You don't, even if you do, try to tell yourself, like, today I'm feeling this way, maybe tomorrow I won't, you know? There's like always a possibility of things turning around, and I myself struggle with this a lot. So I guess for me, when I make these podcasts, I want to make sure that my future self can look back and see, okay, this girl was struggling or I was struggling, but then I still had hope and I made it through and things got better. And so, or if I am still stuck in a bad place, I can just look at the videos and be like, okay, yeah, I've been stuck before and I survived it. So, you know, things can always get better, things can always turn around. And just even if you feel isolated, you don't have to. Even if you feel isolated, hey, I'm here. Look, watch my video like 10 times if you need to, but like just you know, try to be there for yourself too. And that is something I think I've really worked on this year. I'm not perfect at it. I get, you know, pushed back maybe by life to like learn certain lessons. I invest in the wrong people, I look for validation in the wrong places, and then life or God or whatever you believe in, like I believe in God, right? So I feel like God tries to teach me lessons, like sorry if I'm saying like a lot, I it's a problem. But you know, I have noticed this about life. If you don't learn the lessons that life is trying to teach you, no matter where you go, you will keep going through the same situation until you learn it, like until you really learn the lesson that life is trying to teach you. And I guess I've always been someone who's tried to just control the outcome, control other people, other situations, just to feel like a sense of safety, maybe. And oh, look at me just being vulnerable like 5 minutes into the video. But yeah, I've tried to just control like certain outcomes in my life so that I don't have to feel a sense of hurt maybe, or unpredictability, because I've never just wanted unpredictability, but being stable is also like a foreign concept to me. So I've struggled with that a lot, like I think in my life. And whenever things get good, I like in my life, say I'm doing really well in my career, or I'm doing really well in art or something, I will just jump ship. And I've recently been working on it, and I've recently been appreciating whatever is good in my life instead of focusing on what's not good. And when I just stopped, when I took a look around, I realized I I have so much to be grateful for. Things are not perfect, but maybe if they were, I wouldn't really appreciate, everything as much. The fact that I can be here right now, like in this present moment, look around and realize that some things are working, some things are not working, and I love myself. I like the people around me. They're nice to me, they're good to me. I feel like that is the biggest achievement I could have in my life. I don't have the perfect job, I don't have the perfect house, the perfect car, the perfect relationship, the perfect, babies, children, whatever you call it, but I do have myself. And maybe if I even had those things and I didn't like myself enough, it wouldn't feel good. And so ever since I realized it, I've been able to just let go of situations, of things, of people. And I've really realized that the only person I have to make sure likes me is me. And it sounds so cliche, right? It sounds so cliche, but I have struggled with, really liking myself or caring about myself. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it was because I was put in the wrong situations, or maybe it was just a lesson I did have to learn, like from God. I'm not sure why, but it's how it has been for a long time. And really just finding myself, like the way to just really appreciate who I am as a person and really like myself, has been my biggest success this year. And I would not have been making this video sitting here, talking in this content, happy manner, unless I was really feeling it. So I'm not making this video to just boast about myself. I'm not being proud. I'm grateful. I'm happy. So yeah, I guess the point of me just saying all of this is I know what it feels like to not really like yourself sometimes, and just know that it will be okay. Like, isn't that really crazy? Like, such a crazy concept that things can be okay. You can be okay. And no matter what is happening, okay, your boss is screaming at your partner is angry at you, cheating on you, or these things can be so devastating, right? But as long as you hold on to that thought that, hey, this is happening right now and it's gonna suck for a really long time, but at the end of it, I'm gonna be there for myself. I'm gonna be okay, and I can be happy again, and then I'll be sad again, and then I'll be happy again. So when you, I think, really understand that and you really take that in, I feel like life flows more flows easier. I don't know how to say it, but things feel easier, and I think ever since I was young, I've really tried to control, as I said before, and really perfect my life. I had this thought in my head, I don't know where it came from, but I have to be the best. So I used to tell my friend, like, I need to be the best at art, I need to be the best artist in the world. And he would tell me, what is the best? Like, what do you mean by the best? Define best, right? So I don't know. I don't know why this whole concept of being the best really came into my mind, but I would envision my life in a way where I would do certain things, achieve certain things, and have the perfect partner who would look a certain way, act a certain way, do certain things for me, and then have certain friends, and my friends would do certain things for me, and just by this age I'll achieve this, by that age I'll achieve that. And sometimes I got the things that I really wanted, and I just realized like those are not the things I need. And when I figured that out, like even though I figured that okay, this is not what I necessarily need, I couldn't still let go of attachments, because I thought in my head like, this is what I want, this is what perfect looks like, this is what my life is supposed to be like. And I think this is something I have to keep working on, like not really focusing on what I think I want, and just really focusing on what feels right, what doesn't look good on paper, but what feels really, really right to myself. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this will be helping you. Maybe you're in a transitory period, maybe you're going through things, going through changes. We're always going through changes, right? And I think I'm the happiest when there's hope. I'm the happiest when things are about to like turn around, something new is supposed to happen. And I think if you are also in that period, I can tell you like, don't be scared. It's okay if you are. We are all scared sometimes, but also you can have hope. You can believe that, what if things work out? So I used to be the type of person who's always worrying, what if things don't work out? What if it goes bad, right? But recently I'm just thinking, what if things do work out? What if things are good? And it's a very strange foreign concept, but the more I practice it, the more I tell myself, anytime I'm thinking, what if things don't work out? I'm thinking, what if they do though? What if they do work out? So that's really something I think is food for thought. No, I think that's something you can implement in your life, maybe, because it's been helping me. It's been making me feel more content and grateful about where I am, excited about where I will be. Today's podcast, by the way, I think is going to be really, really deep and just, So if you feel like this is not for you, I understand. Goodbye. You can go and leave us, sentimental, emotional people alone, because maybe this is not for you, and that's fine. That's okay. So I want to share this one other thing. Recently I've been journaling a lot, and before I had this sort of resistance towards journaling. I'm not sure why, but I just, writing down how I'm feeling felt like it would make everything real, and I didn't want to really acknowledge what was happening in my life. I didn't want to accept a lot of things that were happening. I felt like I was in the wrong place, wrong situations. I had the wrong relationships. I had the wrong career, everything, And I was like, what do I want? What do I really want? And I would look up on how to, feel better, get better. Or people would tell me, hey, you should journal. The videos would tell me you should journal. And in theory, I understood that, yeah, I should journal. But it just never really was a thing that I thought could help me. Like, I just never felt like it would help me, right? But I don't know, I think 3 or 4 days ago, maybe, or last week, I started journaling. I just felt like writing things, I just started writing things down, and I don't know, it helped me organize my thoughts in a way I didn't think it would. So I didn't really write down, follow a prompt, okay? I just wrote down whatever came into my mind, and I started writing, and the words kept coming, and I was like, oh my god, I'm writing like 3-4 pages, like where is this coming from? And I just got it all out, okay? And as I kept on writing, I realized there were a lot of things in my present or right now where I'm reacting in a certain way because of things that happened to me in the past. And everyone knows that by now. Like, we all know that we, act based off of how we felt in the past or how we were treated in the past, say by our parents or in our childhood or in our formative years. But I really didn't grasp how much that affected me until I really started to look at the words. Like, I wrote down things and I read them and I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, I'm still acting like my 5-year-old self because this certain thing is triggering me, or that certain situation made me feel bad, so now I'm trying to not act based off of it. And it was just really I wouldn't call it revolutionary. It was just like a aha moment, like, oh, okay, all right, so that's me, that's my programming, you can say. And then I started, like, I obviously had a friend help me because he's very wise, okay? He's done the work, he's done the self-work to really grasp these concepts, and really talking to him helped me and understand that, okay, so because it is my programming right now doesn't mean I have to act this way forever. There is a chance for me to really sit with my triggers, really sit with my issues, and just address them and then see if I can make it better. So I don't know if anyone out there listening to this really is understanding what I'm saying. I hope you are. Anyway, as I was saying, so for me, when I started journaling, it really showed me, like, what my subconscious is thinking. And I slowly started to write down, okay, so this is my issue, I think this is my issue. And then I made a list, okay? I made a list of, I think, 10 things I think currently are not wrong with me, but are things I'm struggling with. And then I wrote them in black ink. And then I decided to really think, okay, if I were to solve this problem for someone else, what would I recommend them? And so I took blue ink and I started writing down solutions, like, corresponding to the problems. So the black ink, say number 1 is a problem. Like, I always shame myself. I shame myself when I can't get something done. I shame myself when I make a mistake, do something in a way that doesn't really represent my moral values or my standards. And when I end up doing it, I shame myself, I get really angry at myself, there's a lot of negative self-talk. And so when I recognized that, okay, that's a problem, and I wrote it in black ink, I took some blue ink and I'm writing, like, okay, what is the solution I can offer myself that I would offer someone else, right? And so I ended up coming up with solutions for every problem that I recognized. So with blue ink, say for the shame problem, I'm like, okay, the next time I feel like shaming myself, like, I will give myself complete and utter understanding. Like, no matter what, no matter how wrong I was, no matter what bad thing I did, I will just tell myself it's okay. Like, I will just imagine myself hugging myself, okay? Like, it might sound silly, but I'll imagine myself just hugging myself and telling myself, hey, it's okay. You made a mistake. People make mistakes, okay? Other people make mistakes. And you are understanding of other people when they make mistakes. So it's okay if you do it. If your brother makes a mistake, if your cousin makes a mistake, if your friend makes a mistake, you don't hate them and you don't shame them. You might tell them, like, hey, this wasn't, like, really great. Maybe don't do it again. So that is the approach you should have with yourself too. That is the approach I should have with myself. So I really started telling myself to do that, and just give myself a hug, like, in my head, and then or just just physically do it. Why not, right? And then just really no shame, just completely without boundaries, just really, really believe in yourself and really accept yourself for however messed up you are. And if you do that and you really accept who you are, the shame dissipates, like it goes away, right? And that is something that really changed the way I have been viewing myself lately. So I am making mistakes. I am as I think everyone does. I'm not acting perfectly. I can't. And every time I'm making a mistake, every time I'm not doing my laundry, every time I'm not waking up, every time I'm ordering food, okay, and I'm not like cooking my meals, I'm not thinking to myself like, oh my god, what is wrong with you? Like, I hate you. How dare you? Like, you're so lazy. Like, blah blah blah. You know, that negative self-talk, that negative feedback loop. I feel like I'm getting better at stopping it because I'm not shaming myself. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to do my laundry every week like at the right time. It doesn't really mean anything. Like, if I say for laundry, like, I'm really forcing myself to just do laundry at a certain time because I feel like it will make me a productive person. If I'm shaming myself for it, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna procrastinate and I am going to end up not wanting to do laundry even more. Okay, and this applies for everything. I procrastinate because a hard task makes me feel bad, and the more I don't do it, the more I shame myself for it. And the more I shame myself for it, the more the experience feels negative. And it's a process that keeps on, it keeps going on, right? And that inner shame for not being able to be the person that you really want to be ends up hurting you even more in the long run. And I think people around you can also like sense it. And I'm not saying like you should be loving yourself, and if you don't love yourself, like you're not worthy of love or other people should not treat you well. But I'm saying you maybe people can pick up on it, and they don't gravitate towards you. Like the people who really want to be in your life, they don't gravitate towards you. They kind of take a back seat, and people who match your energy of the shaming you and making you feel bad, they're the ones that come around. And so ultimately you're hating yourself, you're making people that kind of want to hate you like come around you. And since you hate yourself, like that's what you know, so that's what you will accept from other people. I have met a few people in my life who don't want unconditional love because they don't recognize it. They want something that's not within their reach. They don't want to be loved because I think they don't love themselves, so they don't really recognize it as a good thing, as a healthy thing. Or maybe they know it's healthy but they don't want it because they're not used to it. And granted, I've been there in the past too, and I think we all go through it, right? But just because that's your pattern, just because you go through it doesn't mean you have to keep going through it, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is just what I feel like I've learned. And so about the coming back to the shame thing, so when you shame yourself, you're really not doing anyone any favors. You're only elongating the process of hating yourself. You're just really contributing to something that's already negative. Like, you have a negative self-image, you're shaming yourself, it's getting worse. You're gonna end up tired, exhausted, and not be able to get more work done. And it can apply to everything. It can be the reason why you stay in a toxic relationship. It can be the reason why you don't leave a job where you should leave because your boss is treating you badly, because your coworkers are treating you really badly. It can be, any situation, maybe with family, maybe with a friend. And what really matters is that you are not shaming yourself. Even if the people around you are, you have to really dig deep within and see if this is the behavior you want, this is the kind of love you deserve, and if this is the kind of love you're giving yourself, and really work from there. I don't think I would have been able to come to these realizations if I didn't have people who love me unconditionally, not because I give them certain things, but because they just like me as a person. And that's also really important. Like, go where you're wanted, go where people want you, people like you. And it can be a strange concept, right? Like, you can think, oh my god, no one loves me, no one wants to be with me. But not even in the romantic sense. Like, are there not people in your life who really appreciate you for you? I remember, like, I went downstairs one day. I was not having the best day, okay? And I went downstairs and I ordered food. Guilty, don't tell my mom. I ordered food, and the rider, he wanted, I didn't have change, so I was giving him like a whole note, and he was like, oh, I don't have money for this, like, you need to give me change. I was like, I don't have change, like, what do I do? And I didn't have a smile on my face. I was just not feeling good, okay? So the lady at the supermarket, there's a shop downstairs, not the supermarket, sorry, the lady at there's a shop, okay, right there. So I sometimes go there and I always smile at her, and like, I always say hello. So she saw me, and she wasn't even in the shop, she was like jogging in front of it. For some reason, she comes and she's like, wait, I'll give you money. Like, I didn't even have to ask her. I just looked at her and she's like, wait, I'll give you money. She ran back into the shop, she gets the money, and she comes back and she's like, here you go. And then she smiles at me, and you know, that moment, I'm like, this person is not a big part of my life, but me behaving well with her just, you know, ended up forming a connection, and now she's here for me in a moment where I need her. And that's showing up for people and, you know, loving people in your life. And that is love, right? That is just a good feeling, a good sense. I don't know how to like put it into words, but that's just the type of love that you have to start taking note of. That it doesn't only have to be romantic, or only one friend cannot give you the love that you think you need. There are people in your life that are doing very, very small things, you know, showing up for you. There are people who are just making space for you, taking time out of their lives for you. And when you start appreciating that, you really start to accept yourself for how much you're able to love yourself too, and then you can only go upwards from there. So when she did that for me, I was so happy. I thanked her, and that made me want to smile more at people, that made me want to appreciate people more, that made me want to go out of my way to do things for people more, you know. And I don't know, she just made my day that day, because I wasn't feeling like I liked myself that day, and I wasn't feeling valued by certain people in my life. And then when I see that this random lady, I'm random to her too, right? So when this random lady is thinking that I'm worth the effort for her to stop her running, go get money for me, and then give it to me to help me, that made me realize, okay, so she values me that much. I can value myself way more, because I see myself every day. I meet myself every day, right? And she didn't need anything in return. She just did that out of the kindness of her heart, and that ended up making my day. So maybe I should do that for myself too. So I don't know, I'm going off on tangents, and but you know, it's just these little things where I think I've been able to start liking myself, because other people in my life have shown me that I matter, my presence matters, and I wouldn't have taken note of these unless I really was forced to. And maybe you're feeling like, no one likes me, no one loves me, but you don't know how like it takes a village to raise a child, you know. We are what our communities are. So even if you feel like you don't, no one loves you in your life, think about the fact that there might be someone who's, I don't know, um it sounds so obscure and not, it sounds wishy-washy, right? But say someone is wrapping a piece of package or something with a lot of care, so that it, when it reaches you, you don't have a hard time opening it, you know. And it's very hard to get a grasp of that concept, but the more you think about it, the more you feel like you are part of a community, the more you feel like you belong, the more you feel like you deserve love. And not just from one person. You appreciate your milkman, okay? You appreciate your people who help you around the house, like the house helpers. You appreciate your grandmother, the fact that she went through her entire life only to, you know, only for you to be able to be present right now. That's everything to me. I don't know. I also this really cute thing, okay? So lately when I've been calling my grandmother, I try to call her like every month at least. I used to call her way more back a few months ago, but now I just have a busy schedule, but I try to make time for my grandma because she's like the love of my life, okay? I have a few love of my lives. It's my grandmother, it's my nephew, it's my cousins, it's my brother, it's my mom, it's my dad. So I have a lot of love of my lives. And oh, it's also my best friends, 2 of them, 3 of them, all of them, I don't know. So every time I've been calling my grandmother lately, like ever since I pierced my nose, she's been she's been calling me beautiful, okay? Like every time she will see me, she's like, you look so beautiful, you're so pretty. And she speaks like a child now. I think she's at that age where, you know, she's just becoming more like a child, and she's just so happy to see me, and she's just so impressed by what I look like. She can barely see anymore. She can barely tell through the screen, but she's like, you are so beautiful. And you know, that type of validation, that type of love, the unconditional love, like without any reason. Like, I don't love you because you can do something for me. I can't do anything for her because I'm here. Like, I don't know, oceans away from her, right? I'm a plane ride away, and I can't show up whenever I need to. I haven't been able to show up for her. She's been sick, and I haven't been able to be there for her. But, you know, no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, she's gonna be my grandmother. She's gonna love me because she just does. Because it's, you know, unconditional. And, you know, when people like that are showing up for you, loving you, and you take note of that, I feel like just you start to really appreciate yourself too. And it's a really, really long journey towards that. I have not achieved, you know, I'm like not someone who's like 100% I love myself at all times of the day. No, sometimes I'm really frustrated with myself. Sometimes I'm really like, why can't you do this? Everyone else is doing it, why can't you also do it, you know? But it's like, it's getting easier, but it's getting easier the more I do it, the more I practice it, the more I focus energy towards it. I feel like the more I'm able to achieve it. And yeah, I think definitely I wouldn't have been able to have this realization this quickly, like in the span of a few months, if I didn't really journal, you know, if I didn't really talk to people, put my emotions out there. I think when I was growing up, I was really closed off. I really cared about what people think. But the less I care now, the happier I am. The more I'm able to just really be there for myself. I think especially in brown households, it's considered selfish if you take your own feelings into consideration. You're always taught to care about what other people think. What will your relatives think? What will your uncle think, aunt think? Like, oh, you want to wear this dress, you want to wear this outfit, but what will your uncle think? That's so messed up. Oh, you want to go for this job, what will society think? What will your friend's mom think? So being raised like that, you're not really taught or given the tools to really take your own feelings into consideration. Like, oh, don't be selfish, like you represent the family, you represent us, so don't, don't just make decisions because you feel like it's good for you. But if I don't take good decisions that make me feel good, then what is it all for? Like, am I just meant to not feel good? It's called selfish, but what is wrong with being selfish? What is wrong with wanting the best for you, wanting to feel good? As long as you're not hurting other people, it's not selfish. And I think that's something that I've had to really sit with, and I'm still sitting with it. I'm sitting with the fact that I don't have to consider my entire family tree when I make a decision. When I want something in my life, I don't have to take everyone into account, into consideration, because I should do things that feel good to me, good for me. And it's not selfish, it's not a bad thing, really. If it's making me feel good, it's not hurting other people. And hey, hurting other people, as in some people will get hurt regardless, right? Like some people, like say your parents, they don't want you to do certain things because they perceive it as being hurt. They perceive it as you attacking them. But when in reality, you're just trying to, stand up for yourself or do something that's good for yourself. Say you don't want to get married and your parents really are telling you, if you don't get married, this is going to bring shame to our family. You're hurting us. You're killing us. Like, that's unreasonable. You're not purposefully hurting them or causing them harm. It's their expectations that need to be adjusted, and you cannot do anything there. So that's the way that you have to start perceiving it. That's not you being selfish. If you are not ready to get married, why would you get married just because you're supposed to, and because your parents are asking you to? And then what, you get married and you're miserable, and then you hate or resent your parents, and you resent your partner, you resent your life, and you're thinking, I never had a choice, I never had an option. And that's not really, that's what your parents might tell you will make you happy, but that will never make you happy. And I know some people, they don't have options. They're financially bound, they're emotionally bound to their parents' decisions, or someone else just making the decisions in their lives. Some people don't have the confidence to really make decisions for themselves, but I have a lot of empathy for that. But if there's a chance that you can take control of your own life, I would say do it. I would say try it. It's so nice. It's so nice when you show up for yourself. It's so nice when you really like yourself, and you accept good things, and you accept other people being good to you. And that's just something that I think is my biggest takeaway from this year. So this is the longest I wouldn't say rant, but tangent I've gone on, I think. But it's nice, I like making these videos. I want to make more, but as I said before, I only make them when I really have this feeling of wanting to make them. And I don't know, I have a few plans this year. We'll see if they turn out well. So let me fill you guys up about my life, fill you guys in about my life. I'm going to be starting design. I'm going to be starting design again in my university. Architecture, bro. Architecture will take you places, okay? And it will take you like so high up, and like, it will drop you, and you will be like, why did I choose this? What am I trying to do here? Architecture will make you question yourself. Architecture will make you love architecture and hate architecture. That's all I have to say. But it's really, I think choosing this career path or this field has really pushed me to my limits. And sometimes that can be a good thing, sometimes it can be a bad thing, but it's really made me confront my issues, my life, my habits of procrastination, me not liking myself enough somehow ends up with me not wanting to do the work, and all of it, and I don't know, I hope I'm getting better at it. I want to get better at it. Me coming here in Malaysia, where people tend to be a little racist towards me, which is a story for another day. But me coming here and really not being able to adapt with other people, because I've always been someone who's lived in her own bubble, had the same friends, and I don't know, I've never really had to go out of my way to make friends and make connections. And when I've just been thrown in this place where I'm not able to just have things automatically, like I actually have to work for it, go up to people, talk to them, make connections, make decisions about making connections, choosing who to let go of, choosing who to go keep in my life, all of it just, it has tested me. And I've been in very, very dark places the past few years. I probably will be again. When design starts, it's the work, the stress really, really gets to you. It's crazy because they test you, it's kind of sadistic, like the process. They will push you to your limits. And the work that I've done before in my previous semesters, I'm not proud of them, and I can say it without any shame. I'm not shaming myself, but I wasn't able to show up for myself, be my best self, and really, really make the type of work that makes me, happy or parade around. I've just made work and wanted to hide it from the class, from the lecturers, and the environment in my current university is not the very best. They're not very nurturing, so it felt really cold before. But it also taught me that not everywhere I go in life people will hand me things like my parents have. They've had me be very sheltered throughout my life, right? But I won't have that everywhere, and it's just a truth I have to accept. I was actually having this conversation with a friend, and I was telling her how I came to this realization that just because I'm good to people doesn't mean they will be good to me, and that's okay. It's okay. It's what it is. Whether I like it or not doesn't matter. It is what it is. I will be nice to people, and maybe they won't be nice to me. They're dealing with their own things, and just because they're not nice to me doesn't mean I don't deserve someone being nice to me. It just means that's who they are, and that's fine. And I can leave that situation. I can leave that to themselves, because I'm not about to take validation from someone who, chooses to show up as a mean or not a very nice person. And that's my choice, whether I let it affect me or not. And sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes people are mean to you, and you don't like it. That's okay. That's completely fine. But it's just when you start to realize it like that, when you start to go through situations, you learn. You are forced to learn. I did not want to learn for the longest time. I wanted to be in shame, blame myself, think, why am I here? What am I doing? Etc., etc. Have certain standards for myself, and they were impossible to meet. So I just really didn't. I struggled with really liking myself, and I struggled with being a pushover. I became a pushover. I became a people pleaser, and it didn't end up making me happy. It didn't make the people around me happy. They ended up just mistreating me, and they ended up being meaner to me, if anything. And even in the academic spaces. When I was nice to the students who were not being nice to me, it didn't end up making them be nicer to me, you know? It ended up making them just, I don't know, taking me for granted and not really appreciating what I bring to the table. So I'm not saying if someone's being nice to you, if someone's being rude to you, you go be rude to them again. But I'm saying, like, really check yourself. Are you just being a pushover? Are you, like, still being nice to someone who's just choosing to be not very nice to you? Because if you are, you cannot fix that situation by being kinder to them. Be kind to yourself, like, separate or, like, go away from that situation. You don't have to be ugly with them, but, like, you know, set boundaries. Let them know that this is bothering you. Let them know it's not okay. You doing that doesn't make you a bad person. You doing that is not selfish. You doing that is showing up for yourself. You doing that is showing up for yourself. Like, tell yourself that. Show up for yourself. Like, I will show up for myself, you know? I don't mean to be a motivational speaker. That's not me. I'm just sharing something that took me so long to realize, maybe 20 years to realize. And I have seen or heard people talk about all of this. I've never been fully able to grasp it because everyone has their own processes, everyone has their own timelines for learning things. But I think the most important thing that I have learned this year is I have to keep showing up for myself, even when it's difficult, even when it's the worst thing that can happens, even when the worst thing that can happens, even when things are not going my way, even when the things I want are not coming my way. I have to show up for myself. I have to, you know, pick myself up, make myself eat. I have to shower. I have to do my laundry. I have to cook. I have to clean. I have to go, you know, attend my appointments. I have to teach. I have to draw. I have to go out, take walks. I have to do all of that for myself every single day, every single time, because no one is coming to save you. No person in your life can just come in and make it all better. You have to do it for yourself for the rest of your life. And when I realized this, I was like, oh, okay. So me having the right person as a partner, me having the right friends, me having the right colleagues, the right workplace will not make me happy for the rest of my life. The only thing that will make me happy, content actually, not even happy, content, is me making sure I show up for myself. And I don't know, it got too deep, right? I'm not being too dramatic, but it got a little deep, I guess. But this is something I really wanted to share today. I just, on a whim, really, no preparation. I just put on some lip gloss and some blush, and I'm like, let me just, you know, spit facts. Let me just put it all out there into the universe and, like, see what comes back my way. I don't know. This is just something I really wanted to share, and I can go on for hours, but I think I've been talking for the past 47 minutes as I see on the timer. There are a lot of things that I do want to share, a lot more things, and maybe I will. I don't know. No promises, you know. I'll only make videos if I feel like making them. But I hope it even, like, this video helps even one person. I hope you show up for yourself. I hope you like yourself. You start to like yourself. I hope things get better for you. And if they don't, it's okay. Trust me, like, someone out there really loves you, okay? Someone out there really appreciates the fact that you're here. So really keep that in mind. If no one else loves you, I love you, okay? I accept you as my friend. You're my friend, okay? I'm just collecting friends at this point, but someone out there really, you know, cares about you. And if no one cares about you, say you're like the worst person in the world and, like, no one likes you at all, like, just, you should like you. You should care about you. And it's the most difficult thing I've had to learn, I think, so far, but it's also the most rewarding. So I hope I hope this helps. I don't know. I just wanted to share. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope I make more videos. No pressure on myself, no shame. I hope I get to make more podcasts, and just because this is so chill, this is so fun, right? I really love this, and it's just it's like journaling sort of, but in video video mode. But it's just really fun to share my life like this, and I hope it helped you guys, anyone, I don't know, I hope it helped someone. And yeah, stay tuned for more. I'll see you in a few years. I'll see you soon. Hopefully I'll make more. And that's it. Take care whoever is watching this or came this far. You deserve everything that you want and need. And yeah, until next time, goodbye.